Hello once again, welcome to another tutorial of FM Slovakia.com. My name is Patres and I welcome you to my session about kit making. Today we will show us how to make a kit, a bit complicated kit, and that's the worst part of every single kit maker, I could say, or a kit designer, to make a pattern of a kit which really complicated. I opened as an example a third kit of FC'12, that's a French club which plays in the Ligue 1. This I have to do, so I would like to show you how I create the patterns of the original kits, or how you can easily and really fast make such complicated designs. It's not the way I do it normally, because I try to redraw the pattern itself. But if you're not so skilled graphic designer and not used to make such difficult patterns, then you can do it the way I will show you now. Okay, as we can see, we have a Lotto template here, or a Lotto design. That means we need to open a Lotto template. Okay, I open my Photoshop, go to File, Open, and search for my templates. As said in the previous tutorial, I have all my templates stored at my Google disk. That means I go to FC'12 templates, search for Lotto, look in the previews, that's what I always do. Make it a little bit bigger and try to find a design or a template that looks similar to what I need. Okay, I need a round collar with these shaped curves on the edge of the arms. Sorry, that means I could use this one. Yes. Okay, the number 30. Okay, now we open the PSD file of it. The number 30 is the one we are looking for. It had to be adjusted, but we will do it. As you can see, we need a different logo as this one. We will search it on Google, that's no problem for us. So first of all, Ctrl Shift S or Command Shift S for Save As is the first part. You have to save it to a working folder. I have on my USB stick FC'12 Europe, V2 now France, PSD, Ligue 1. It was DFCO and a Lotto design. Okay, DFCO, Lotto, double T. Okay, save it. Now I can delete all other templates. Just click, hold Shift, and again click to the end. You select all folders and then hit delete. I then use or move these 3 folders directly to templates, so I can delete the 30 folder. And I make a new group of it and call it Okay, so we can start. The design itself. We see that we have this black rounded shape here, so we already have it here, so we don't need to change anything, but the shape is here. As you can see, I turned it on and off. You can change the color by double click on the layer and set a color overlay. It's set to 13, 13, 13. This is a hexagon RGB color code, and I set it to 05, 05, 05 or 05. It's a darker black. Okay, we have round arms, but we need the straight ones, so I have to open again another template, and I use the straight arms to it. Just select the layer, right click, duplicate layer, document should be DFCO, and hit OK. Now I have the right shape of my arms there. I can turn off these buttons and delete them as I don't need them. Okay, now what I need to do, I have to pick this shiny green color from the kit itself. So I normally just drag and drop the picture into Photoshop. As you can see, it was a PNG file with a transparent background, so Photoshop immediately changed the transparency to black. That's normal by PNG files when you drag and drop them into Photoshop, but when you want a transparent background, you have to save the picture first to your computer and then open it. Then it will have the transparent background. But now we only need the green part. It's a bit dark, so we make it a bit lighter. Okay, probably even more. Okay, we have this green, so we can move back to our template, set the base again to green, the same with the arms. Okay, we can leave the logo as it is now, and we focus our work on the design. As you can see, this upper part, there's a thin black line. I do it so that I make a selection of my mask or of my base. That means I hold Control and click on the mask layer. As you can see, a selection has been made. Now what I need to do is to go to select, modify and contract, and I contract it almost every time around 10 or 12 pixels. I do it now for 12 pixels, that you can see what I mean. As you can see, it squeezed, or it make the selection smaller for 12 pixels. And now you can easily hold Ctrl Shift E as an invert selection, make a new layer with this plus on the button, take your brush, make it a bit bigger. You have to use this hard brush with a hardness of 100%. and normally draw a line here. Be patient that it goes over the color. We will need this. Okay, when you have this, you do it the same way on the other side. And now you have the upper part done. You can hold Ctrl and D to deselect. So you have a line ready for the design we need. You move it down to under the arms shape. Again, double click, color overlay. It already set the previous color I had, but I need to make an outer glow to it. I always do my outer glows with the blend mode multiply, opacity is set to 24%, and the spreadness and size is always to 2, and I use a black color. As you can see, it's a black. I don't hit OK. Two things have to be done. Also, I have to set my inner glow. My inner glow is set to screen, blending mode screen. Opacity is 12%. Color is set to white, and of course chalk and size are again 2% and 2 pixels. Okay, and I need to make an stroke, an outside stroke of 2 pixels. This is the easiest way, but as you can see, it's a bit unsharp. Therefore, I make it the other way. Most designers do it this way, but I don't like the effect of it, so I don't make a stroke. I hit OK here, and I normally duplicate the layer again, move it down under the previous one, and move it 2 pixels down. I hit the move tool, or with the key V you activate the move tool, and I hit 2 times the down arrow. 1, 2. Now I open the layer effect with double click, set the color and set it to black. For me it's a little bit softer than the previous one, so I use it this way. It depends on the sharpness of your selection which you made, how sharp will this line be. So sometimes it's sufficient or enough when you make a selection and make a stroke of it, but sometimes you need to duplicate the layer and make it the color you want. Or you can normally try to draw a line. You select the shape tool, select line tool, and normally draw a line, and use this one if you want. I will move it here and show you how it looks. This is the one white one, but it's only 1 pixel thin, so I will delete it and make it 2 pixels and show it once again. This is the smoothest thing you can do. So if you make it so, you will have a really clear line according the previous selection. You can normally duplicate it with Ctrl J. Oh, sorry, wrong layer. Ctrl J. Now go to Edit, Transform horizontally, yes, and normally move it to the right position, and you can merge these two, set color black, voila. As you can see, this is the best way. It depends on you which one do you want to do, but I recommend this one. It's the most nice looking way to do it, as you have a really smooth line without any fuzziness or noises on it. Okay, what now? We have to make this part of the color and this one, so that's the part where I said you need to make this layer goes to the color part. So we make a selection of this layer with Ctrl and left click on the layer icon. Okay, we made a selection. Go to color. This one we can turn off, and this is the main part of the color. We go or click the layer, then click the rectangular march tool, or with M, hit right or click with the right mouse button and say layer via cut. This means we made a cut of our selection from the previous layer. Now we can change the color of it to green, and the rest of the main part we will set to black. Sorry. And as you can see, it's really nice looking, and it seems that we make it right. You can move the lines a bit down to be exactly at the cut. Okay, now we can delete this one and do the rest of the color, as it's everything green. Yes. Okay, green. This is the logo. It's not in there. Okay, we can turn it off, but we need to duplicate this effect, move it down, set the fill to 100% and turn off the inner shadow and make a color overlay of green, that it covers the line from the design. Okay, the color is finished. Now we need to do the tricky part, and that's our design or our pattern. I opened also the back part of the kit, and I wanted to show you how you can do it the fastest way. Okay, now I again drag and drop it to my Photoshop, and as you can see, the pattern repeats. You can see it, that this area is repeated here, it's also repeated here, it's also repeated here, it's also repeated here. So now we see that we need only this area to be able to reproduce the pattern itself. So you can do it with a lasso tool or a polygonal lasso tool. I always set it to polygonal lasso, but you can also use when you are skillful with lasso tool, but I do it with polygonal lasso tool. That means I normally click on the points I want to have my selection and make a selection around. Okay, I have my selection. Now right click with the mouse button and layer via copy. I turn off the background and I see a nice selection of the pattern I want to use. Now I need to make or delete the green part, so I go to select, go to color range, click on the green part and make the fuzziness of the green to 80 or 60, 50, 40. Okay, we tried with 40. Hit OK. And now I have a selection of the green part. Now I hit delete. As you can see, almost everything disappeared. I deselect and duplicates few times the background or the layer. Now it again makes it visible, and I would say it was not okay. So I go back with Ctrl L, Alt and Z or Y, it depends on the shortcut you have set. I had set my with Ctrl L and Z. I deselect it again and go to select, control, color range and make the fuzziness set to 20. Now I delete it again. This looks a bit better. Okay, I make a selection of what I made and invert it again and hit 2 times delete, maybe even 3 times. Okay, now I see that I have a pattern made and I need to delete this part, so I select the erase tool and normally erase this part of it. It was a bit dark. I make it a little bit bigger. Maybe it won't look the same, but we will try it. Okay, so now I double click on the layer, set the color and set it to black. Okay, now normally drag and drop, I use it here, and as I can see there are still parts which I have to delete. That it looks a bit better. You have to play with it. Not every time you make a selection which is really clear or which is sufficient enough. So you have to play with it. Okay, we will scale it down so we lose the fuzziness of it. So I again click on the move tool, hit Ctrl T for transform, and I make it maybe 40 or 40% high. I hit OK. Now I have the pattern ready and I just duplicate it few times, move it Okay, I can merge these four together, and now a bow and under. You have to play with it. Okay, I move it down to my template, sorry, to my design, and set the opacity to 20, for example, or 30. And as you can see, we almost there. It looks similar. Yes, it looks similar. It's not a perfect copy of it, but as I said, it's the fastest way you can do it. So we have also a pattern. You can change the color if you want. You merge these two layers and change the color to something like this, and you need to back, we need to set the opacity to 100% before we merge the files, the layers. Okay, and now we can change the color to a darker one. Okay. Okay, so we need to do it also on the shoulders. That means we duplicate this, move it up, hit the Control T, and set an angle of 16.5. Hit OK, move it to the left side, and again the same, duplicate the layer, Control T, minus 16.5 for the angle, move it up, move it to the right side, select both of these layers, hit create group. Now control click on the layer of the arms, still selected the group, and now add layer mask, and voila, you have a layer mask which shows only the parts of the arms, and everything what's inside of this group will be seen only in the white area. Okay, so this is clear. Now we need only to make the logos and we are finished. So that were the basics how to reproduce a difficult pattern, or in a similar way to reproduce a pattern which is made or can be made really hard. So thanks for watching, and I have to thank you all for watching our channel, and we also have to thank to everyone who participate in our All-Star Kit Makers project. We have a lot of new members now, and I also have to thank Einherjer, sorry for the work he do, because he now communicates almost with all almost our new members, and I also have to thank him for the shirt I have. Thanks a lot, mate. This gift was really great. Okay, thanks a lot. We will see us on the next tutorial, and I hope you now understand the basics of how to work with Photoshop and make kits. Goodbye.